Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Star Wars RimWorld Let's Play. So it's been a little while since we've checked in last, but I have run the gauntlet of midterm exams at school and come out more or less in one piece on the other end. So this week we're going to try to get back into the swing of things, try to get back onto our regular schedule, and so I figured we'd kick it off on, well, with some RimWorld on Tuesday, because that's when I had been posting these videos. It's Tuesday and Friday, so this is what we're going to start with. And tomorrow we might, and this is, again, a maybe, but I'm going to do my best to make it happen. We might see the first episode of a new RimWorld series with some 40k stuff happening, Warhammer 40k. So look forward to that. We're going to have a little bit more of a combat warfare focus in that playthrough, whereas this one, we're trying to build a research base. And so we're really just, you know, defending ourselves more than anything. Whereas in that one, I want to be a lot more militaristic, and we'll see how that goes. But anyways, because it's been so long, I am a little bit out of sorts as to, you know, the various things we have going on, so I'll have to kind of refresh my memory as we go. We are trying to clear the area for these turbines here so that they can get working. It looks like they are producing a little bit of power again, which is fantastic. The compacted steel, unfortunately, is still blocking this one. And the wind turbine there is blocking this one a little bit, but it is still running at fairly high efficiency there. It looks like it's about 2/3, and that's all we really need from these, is just kind of to supplement our solar panels there. We have also got a bunch of food that still needs to get moved, as well as it looks like another harvest coming in fairly soon. Yeah, these are ready to grow in a day or so. We're also digging out more bedrooms, especially after the little unfortunate mishap, I guess. Not really a mishap. There's nothing we could have done about it, but this is all water, as I think I mentioned last episode. So unfortunately, until we can terraform, this whole area is pretty much lost to us. Whereas this one is not, so we're going to utilize this first and see how that goes. And then I think what we'll do before we get the time moving here is we're going to plan our medical center. The question is, like, where do we want it to shoot off from? I think what we'll do first is lay out the room. I want it to be fairly large. Maybe 20 by 10? That seems too big. Let's make it 20 by... I'd rather it be longer. So something like that. A long, narrow room. And essentially, we're just going to have beds all over the place. Eventually, we'll have the higher-end medical beds, but for now, we'll just probably lay in a couple regular ones. But we'll have designated medical beds in there, as well as all of the research stuff that May needs to, you know, continue furthering our technology. And that way, she can kind of do all of her jobs in one area. If anybody is injured, they'll go hang out over there, and she can walk away from her bench real quick, get them patched up, and then go right back to her research. We should also have enough room here for all of the advanced stuff that we're going to need. So let's see, that is 5 blocks across. So even if I turn it sideways in here, we'll have a little bit of space on the wall. And then there is other things that we will eventually need to add in next to it that we might need to expand that a little bit. Again, this is just a plan, so it's not like this is getting acted on, but that makes that, what, 7? Let's call it 8. We'll go just a little bit of extra space, and we'll see how that goes. And then let's do something like that for the entrance, and we'll get to that eventually. But let's get the clock moving. And again, we're digging out bedrooms here. We're going to need to wall all this off. And it looks like I have laid out some of that, not all of it. I suppose what I can do is queue these corners up. I can queue that up as well as soon as somebody moves that. Let's see. It looks like Kenta's going to go do that. Heth, meanwhile, is going to go try to recruit Gamba. And hopefully we can make that happen as well, because Gamba would definitely be a welcome addition. Please don't do that. There we go. I managed to catch him before he blocked himself from accessing that corner. Hopefully he wises up over here. But we'll build the sides first and then the back last. That way I don't really need to worry about micromanaging him. How are we doing temperature-wise in here? It is still very, very cold in here. And that is something that's really given us issue. It's nice and toasty in their bedroom. This is nobody's bedroom yet, so I don't need to really worry about it. But eventually, I will. And so to that end, we'll probably need to throw down another heater. Let's see. 175 watts. Versus... yeah, that uses significantly more. So these heaters are actually fairly power efficient comparatively. How are we doing over here? Pretty good. Digging out some of that compacted machinery, getting some free components. That's getting dug out as well, so I can queue up some marble walls there. And once that's done, we'll start running power through here just to be a little bit more space efficient. We'll probably tear up all this eventually as well. But for now, we'll just kind of use it and I guess just sort of tweak things as we go. Oh, we got hypothermia happening. Ah, damn it. I'm wondering how much warmer would a cap keep her? Do I even have any? I don't want to give her a stormtrooper helmet because that would look weird, but one of these wouldn't be terrible. Let's see. An additional minus 14 degrees Celsius. Or is that additive, or do they just get averaged? I'm not sure. Let's see what her current temperature tolerance is. Minus 18. I guess we can try it. Go throw that on and we'll see, but I think it's still going to be too cold in there. Alright, so... it is additive, okay. That's good to know. So she can tolerate minus 32, but unfortunately it's still too cold in there. I guess the easiest way to solve this, although it is not, oh, temperature, there we go. Not the most power efficient, is I can throw down a heater next to her workbench, and that'll heat at least the immediate area around there enough to make it livable for her. Especially with that hat on, she can tolerate, you know, a little bit colder temperatures. Of course, it's still not efficient because, you know, she wants to be working at a comfortable room temperature, not, you know, just the edge of what she can tolerate and not die. But, you know, at least we can prevent her from getting hypothermia, which is important. Let's queue up a few walls there. I don't want to block that off yet, especially since that still needs to get built. Huh. Alright. We'll have to keep an eye on power usage here, especially as we start adding in more heaters. But I don't think that 2 is going to kill us. So we'll do something like that. Yeah, I don't love that we have all these exposed wires here, so eventually we're going to get them running through the walls so that these don't need to extend across like that. In fact, ooh, spacecraft has fallen and landed nearby. Whereabouts? Oh, it hasn't hit yet. Okay. Well, I'll queue that for deconstruction. That's not an immediate concern, though. Alright, that's getting built. Let's queue up some more marble walls here. Heth will get on that eventually. And we're going to need to eventually light this place as well. Because it gets pretty dark in here, and I don't think they are too keen on that. But again, that's going to require power, and power is always an issue. I'm wondering if it might be worth throwing down another solar generator here. Lynn, you're going to freeze to death out there. I might have to restrict her to, like, indoor areas or something. But we'll see. She's doing okay, for now at least. And maybe I'll give her a hat. There's one on the floor here, so at least she'll be a little bit more resilient, temperature-wise. Let's see, Kenta, did you get all that taken care of? For the most part. Another thing we need to do here is we'll go to our floors and we'll start smoothing out everything that hasn't already been queued up. That all needs to get smoothed out still, but apparently they're prioritizing the building over that, which is fine, I guess, but before they were prioritizing the floors, not the building, so I'm not sure what changed. Lynn, please, please, please don't get hypothermia. I think salt is fine. Let's see. Minus 48. Ooh. As long as she doesn't hang out here too long, she'll be okay. And let's see. So that's no longer blocked by this. It is blocked a little bit by this. And apparently, okay, cool. So the compacted steel isn't blocking either of them now. But they are, again, still interfering with each other a little bit. We're getting those walls put in. What I intended to do was run some conduits through the wall here. So I'm going to cut it sideways and then just run it up along this. And then we'll break it across like so. Something like that. And then we'll run it through there. And that should get both of these so that we don't see these big wires coming across. And once that is taken care of, we'll deconstruct all of this. And someone will take care of that. Hopefully they're smart enough to build it first before they cut that. Otherwise we'll lose power to all these heaters briefly. Which is not going to kill us, but it probably wouldn't be the best thing ever. So all the males get a psychic soothe. Okay. What about the ladies though? We only have 2 dudes. I'd rather give the ladies a psychic soothe. Alright, so he's still working on walls. Kenta. Let's move things a little bit faster. Research finished. Okay, so we can craft firearms now. Do we go for gas operation? Let's see. Gun turrets. We need tube television for that, do we? No, apparently we can go straight to that. Alright, well, I wouldn't mind gun turrets. So let's take care of that. And, okay, you're sleeping. May is still researching, but, okay, there she goes. Finally getting to bed. I think we're starting to harvest the food again. We may actually be growing it faster than we're eating it at this point, which is not, it's not a problem for me. I mean, obviously, surplus food is great. We don't even need a freezer. We can just drop it outside under a roof, and we'll be A-okay. One thing I'm wondering if we should have done is build supports in this room here. In our sort of warehouse area, I did it. Well, I didn't build supports. I just left columns because I didn't want to risk a cave-in. I didn't do that here, and this is a fairly large space, but so far we've been fine, so I'm not going to sweat it, I guess. But that could end up being our downfall. Alright, Kenta's going to go eat. And what are you going to work on? Oh, you're going to play some chess. Okay. Man. Gamba, if you would just join us, man. We'd have an extra medic. We'd have a cook. He's not bad in melee combat either. Doesn't have any force capabilities, so I couldn't turn you into Heth's apprentice or anything. But, actually, how competent are you in blasters? Ooh. Not very good and not too keen on learning. Kenta failed. Okay. Whatever. Not a big deal. We've got more marble than we know what to do with. Alright, now that everybody's active, I'm going to slow things down again. Because I kind of like to watch what they're doing. And just make sure everybody's, doing stuff that isn't really stupid, which is kind of hit and miss at times. Sometimes they are really stupid. Cue that up. We'll need a door for that room as well. And then obviously somebody's going to need to come in there and clean up the floors. I imagine, let's see, Heth, what are you working on? You're going to go build the power conduits? Fantastic. Looks like you already started. Good. But yeah, that's going to look a lot cleaner. Oh, he's building the heater now as well. Cool. And that should get power from wherever the other conduit was. It looked like it was going to jump, so I don't think we'll need to run any wires to this, which is great. Oh, from down here. Cool. We're going to set the target to 30, and we'll see how that does. And again, we'll need to keep an eye on those batteries, because if we deplete our power too quickly, we're going to have to lose a heater somewhere. And I don't know where that's going to be honest. Again, we could try to clear this out and build another. In fact, that might be worth doing. Let's see. Solar generator. We have the components, and we have the steel, so I'm going to put one there. We'll move the chunks down here. There's enough room for them. And that should be enough to offset any additional heaters we build for a while. Granted, let's see, at full capacity, what are these guys putting out? 1,700. And the heaters are 175, I thought? Yeah, so about a tenth of that. So basically 10 heaters for every one solar panel, which isn't too bad. We can definitely live with that. We don't even have 10 heaters total, so we will be a-okay. Oh, you're building the other heater. That's smart, because that's your bedroom, man. That's your bedroom, so the sooner you get that taken care of, the sooner you get to live in there. Ah, nice. New force points available for Heth. I forget what I wanted to focus on with him. Let's see. Let's read through these again. So, increases lightsaber damage by 20% per skill point. All force users start with half damage on lightsabers until leveling this skill. Non-force users can only deal a maximum of 10. So now that he has a single point into it, he's not at half damage anymore. He's at full damage. And I think we get 20 every time on top of that. Again, I wasn't too clear on the description, because does that mean that the first one gets you to 100, or does it get you to 120? And then would this be 140, 160, 180, 200, or do you top out at 180? It's not clear. Accuracy increases rates of landing lightsaber attacks by up to 20%. That seems like something we should probably spec into. And then I'm not super keen on lightsaber reflection, because it's just knocking the projectiles back at the target. Defense is probably better, because it's blocking melee attacks and deflecting bullets, just not back at their targets. But let's go accuracy first, just so he actually lands hits with the lightsaber, because that's just as important as dealing more damage. If you don't land the hits, then it doesn't matter how much damage you could potentially deal. Let's see, another thing we'll want to do is probably throw in a regular steel door. Have I been using steel doors? Steel door, marble door. Do I really care? Honestly, we have more marble, so let's just keep it marble. It's easier to replenish that, and the steel is more useful in building solar panels and whatnot. Solar panels and, you know, other important things. So we'll focus on those. You're hauling rice to the hopper. You could just pull it from there. I hope you realize that. But it looks like she's keeping that topped up, which is great. And you're gonna go build that heater. Fantastic. Did these all get built? I'm going to assume yes. They did, okay. So then we just need to tear down the ones that are already there. Which, yeah. I need to have Heth meditate as well. It didn't, last episode it didn't work very quickly though, that's the thing. It was kind of slow goings with that. And can I get you to prioritize this? Hauling marble chunk. Oh, you're getting those out of the way? Great. Good job, because we need those gone. We'll keep an eye on this as well. He should be able to... Keep in mind that, you know... Let me see something here. If we put some furniture down in here, it might make it a little bit more pleasant. And by doing that, we could potentially increase his likelihood of being recruited. So, let's see. 25 steel for a small chandelier. Let's drop one right there. That's fairly space-efficient lighting. I don't know that this room's even going to stay here. This is just a temporary holding area. But if we can make this room pleasant to live in, his recruitment chance may go up, or his recruitment difficulty may go down. And it is going down. But, again, making this a better room to live in will improve that as well. Let's see, another thing I should do is, let's order up the mining of those, since we know where they are. I'm not going to mine out that whole hallway right now. That just doesn't seem like a great use of our time. But eventually we will. And then obviously the medical center as well, and these bedrooms, but that's all for the future. Let's see. I think Lynn's going to be like a permanent farmer. Is she getting better at that, by the way? I think so. Yeah, I mean, she's almost to 11, but I'm pretty sure she started off lower than that. I'll have to go back and look. What are you up to, Kenta? Oh, you're building his little plant pot. Okay. Heth, can you haul some of this stuff for me? Great. Because the sooner we get that built, the sooner we stave off any impending power outages that could end up costing us a harvest. Ooh, let's see. We got more compacted machinery there. That's one thing I love about mountain bases, is you get all sorts of compacted steel and machinery, which makes it really easy to maintain your power and stuff, because components can be very difficult to come by, especially if you have to manufacture them yourself. So let's see, 75. Okay, so that's pretty power efficient. I'm actually curious, in terms of lighting. Oh, that's right. It never tells you what the power costs are. Which, like, of all this stuff in here, you would think a lamp would tell you how much power it costs. Like, I don't care how flammable a lamp is or how effective of cover it would make. I just want to know how much energy it's going to use. But I guess we'll have to build like one of each. Apparently it's the same as that. Man, he's really working away at that little plant pot. Please don't drop that here. You could drop it there. Looks like he's just dumping them outside. I mean, that's fine. Whatever you got to do, man. Just get that done. God, that's taking you a long time to build. Who knew plant pots were so complex? And then let's plant some roses. Why not? Can you do that now? Oh, you're busy. Okay, well, somebody will get to it, I'm sure. Or maybe it'll just start growing on its own. Oh, bad seasonal temperature. Ah, because it's freezing in there, right. Well, I don't know how we're going to raise the temperature in there. I'm not about to build him his own heater. But, let's see. With the light and stuff, how much did that improve it? I think it was at 82 before, so maybe it didn't. But yeah, I'm not about to give him his own heater. Although, I can't open the door, because then that turns this whole area into a, prisoner hold, and I don't want that at all. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you eating raw food? Whatever. At least it's the rice and not the meat. Okay. So where are we at? This is essentially a functional bedroom now. I'll have to figure out how I want to furnish these bedrooms. They're a bit bigger than they need to be, but the pawns, or whatever you want to call them, like more spacious rooms, and so just having that space will make them happier. I'm just not sure how to fill it. Especially for, like, Heth obviously needs a meditation pad, but for Kenta, I don't know what I would put in there. I guess I could give him building-related stuff, but, like, what? I have no idea. Is there, like, production benches I could throw in there? I guess I could give him, like, a fabrication bench or something, maybe a machining table. Uh-oh, we have a heater breakdown. Ooh, that's not a good place for that to happen. I need you to deal with that first. Because if that temperature drops too low, all those crops are going to die. Alright. That shouldn't take him too long. And then it looked like he was... Yeah, he's already getting to work on the solar generator, which is great. He's already cleared that area out. He was really working on that. I'm pretty impressed, actually. And Salt's digging out these components. Oh, there's actually more there. We're not going to worry about it too much. We'll probably wall this off after we get these hauled out of the way. And then we will try to get somebody to smooth these floors out. And then that'll be another bedroom. I'm not sure who to give that to. I was thinking probably Kenta, Lin, and Salt. Just kind of give them their bedrooms in the order they appear up here. Just to avoid confusion. And Heth and May, I combined their names there. Heth and May are down here, so they don't need to have their own. Alright, so Kenta's getting to work on the solar generator there. And I'm having Heth haul these weapons just because they're starting to deteriorate out here. And at the very least, we can use them to sell. The Shiv and this spear thing are both made out of steel. So they could be worth at least a small amount of money. I don't know who would buy them or for how much, but somebody would potentially buy them, and it would be for more than nothing, so it's still worth at least trying. And there we go, another solar generator. Unfortunately, it was finished at night, so we won't get to see it producing energy just yet. But in the next day, obviously, we'll get to see a little bit of it. And there's our heater for Kenta's room. We're going to up the temperature in there to... We'll shoot for 30. We'll see if it gets there. What was yours set to? 28? And it's actually holding at about 28. It probably doesn't need to be that warm. I'm actually going to lower it to 25. And that will lower the power usage a bit. Especially since the ambient temperature in there is about where it needs to be. Ooh, no, it went right back up. Oh well. Yeah, we'll set this at 30, and... Oh, it got there quick. Okay, we can lower that a little bit. We'll let that get back down to about 25. And then I've got to figure out how I want to do beds. I think I'm just going to give everybody a double bed. Because, why not? I mean... Let's see, if we use... Do I want to use marble? I'll probably use steel. And we'll just drop it here. Like, let's see, 35. So it is double the cost. But honestly, I think it's easier this way. Essentially, we're just future-proofing so that if anybody ends up getting, like, married or becoming an item, then they can just move right into each other's rooms. I don't need to worry about, you know, moving a bed out, moving another double bed in. They'll just all have double beds, and then, you know, people can move in together if they want. It's just easier that way. So everybody's sleeping. You have a beanie on your bed. I think that was Salt's old beanie. I don't know how it ended up on her bed, but whatever. We'll get somebody to haul that eventually. And we still need to get this bow down here as well. Actually, I need to make sure I forbid that. Okay, Gamba, how are you doing in here? 82% still. Best friends with Heth now. Getting to be pretty good friends with May as well, and friends with Kenta too. So you got 3 friends here. Why don't you want to join us? Alright, so people are starting to wake up here. Looks like Salt's going to haul some more of those chunks out of the way. I don't know why nobody's smoothed those floors yet. I'll have Kenta work on that first thing. playing chess. Can you do that real quick? Yeah, smooth the floors out. Then we'll need to clean up that rock rubble, and then he can start building his new bed in there. And you guys can let me know how you think I should furnish these rooms. I'd like to give everybody something to kind of fill their room with, whether it be like meditation stuff, because this is just too empty. So I want to line the walls with things, maybe have like chess tables in all their individual rooms. Just do the stuff under the bed at least. The other stuff can get taken care of later, but if you build the bed on top of it, I don't know that we'll be able to clean it or smooth it. So take care of that first, and then yeah, do whatever you want, man. Oh, apparently he wants to build the bed. Okay, that is fine by me. Now we'll try to keep an eye on the power again. It seemed to have been doing fine without the additional generator, so we should be having an excess of power with the additional generator, but we'll still need to kind of watch it and make sure that that is the case. Again, we don't want to risk any outages here that might cause famine for us later. And I still need to figure out, so the medical center is going to be here, but we're going to need to build a detention center and also maybe a cafeteria. My thought is, and I think we'll pause here because we are nearing the end of the episode, so we'll call it here in terms of gameplay, but I'm going to discuss some future plans. Because we've gone this way with the medical center, I'd like to have the detention center nearby, because all of the surgeries and whatnot will be taking place in the medical center, and so if we're going to be experimenting on people, which sounds, you know, pretty rough, but we are the bad guys in this case, you know, we'll want the people we're experimenting on in the prison to be, you know, fairly close by, or attached, maybe part of this medical center, or like an addition here will be strictly for prisoners, and then we can have the rest of the prisoner area sort of adjacent to that. But also I want a cafeteria that is sort of up against the prisoner area. That way I can just have a nutrient paste dispenser sticking out into the prisoner area where they can come and grab their own food. But ideally the hopper would be in somewhere accessible from the kitchen or cafeteria, so that somebody can keep it stocked without having to enter the prisoner area, because, you know, we don't know if there's going to be prison riots or whatever. So it would be safer if we just don't have to go in there to keep them fed. What else? We are going to work on expanding this, although it seems like we're producing more than enough food. So if we do add one of these, it'll probably be for more utility crops. So we might start producing, like, I forget, like, what are the different things here? So let's see. Cotton, maybe some cotton and heel root, potentially some smoke leaf to calm our people down, or maybe we can just like give them to the prisoners to keep the prisoners sort of occupied, just kind of keep them in a daze so that they're not angry and trying to escape. But yeah, we'll do something like that in the other one. The other thing to consider though is that this area right here consumes more power than the rest of our base combined, probably by a wide margin too. So we'll need a lot more solar generators if we're going to add another one of these next to it. And then of course we're going to need heaters in every bedroom. These larger areas are going to need more heat. And yeah, I mean, power is going to be at a premium for us, and I think that's going to be probably the limiting factor for everything moving forward, is just how much power can we produce. And it's going to be tough because we're relying solely on solar generators right now. Eventually we'll be able to utilize these steam geysers that are all over the map. There's actually several. So 1, 2, there was more than 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, there's actually several that we'll eventually be able to utilize, but that's going to require us to advance our technology a bit, and so that'll be something that we do down the line, but can't really rely on now. Anyways, we'll leave it here. Again, I'm trying to get back on schedule this week, so expect another episode on Friday. As you know, usual with the old schedule. And again, we're going to be maybe looking at some 40k stuff in RimWorld tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. Not tomorrow for me, but tomorrow for you. We'll be looking at maybe a new 40k playthrough with some interesting 40k mods and also some custom content that I made myself that I think you guys will really enjoy. So anyways, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time playing some RimWorld with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next episode.